Now I got Chef Kip Green with me. How you doing, Chef?
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing. Fucking, how are you? You're hard at work over there, right? While these guys are just sitting around doing podcasts.
Yeah, hard at work. I mean, classic. Yeah, no, we got some wine in today. Got a fun mag delivery over there. So big bottles. Oh.
Fuck yeah. What do you, so what is your title here at June Wine Bar?
Just manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heard
manager,
that.
I curate the wine program. Run service, that kind of stuff.
How long have you been here?
I've been at June off and on for like 2.5 years. But this most recent stint managing has only been like a month.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you love it?
I do. I like, kind of like we were just saying, I do. I weirdly love the space. I started working here at a time when I wasn't really sure what I was going to do next, but I just kind of needed a job to sort of reset, and I feel like I have this connection to the space now because of that.
Yeah.
So.
And we met through our friend Chef Mark Rodriguez over there, pastry chef at Charter Oak. Shout out to him. And how do you guys know each other?
I went to culinary school with Mark. When I first moved to the city, we went to ICC in Soho. And
oh, dope.
Yeah. We had this like tiny little hodgepodge group, and Mark was in the program with me for a couple of months, and then he ended up leaving because he like just got a job at Frenchette, and was like, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah, all right. He's like, fuck it.
But yeah, no, he's been a good friend, and he's like been a nice supporter of me and my career, and Chris, he's gotten to know him, so it's nice.
Very cool. Well, that's what you're doing nowadays, and that's how I found out about you. But we're going to take it all the way back. So I need to know, where were you born?
I was born in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chicago, right in the city?
Rockford. It's like a suburb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Growing up a lot, going to the city?
So I moved away when I was really young.
Okay.
I moved around a lot growing up, but I claim like South Carolina as home. I was from like a small town outside of Charlotte. Yeah. Fort Mill. So.
What did your parents do?
My dad works in logistics, and my mom kind of like off and on has had like some stints in like fashion and retail and stuff. So. Okay.
What was eating like at home? Your mom cooking, dad cooking?
Yeah, no, I mean never too much of a food presence at home. My mom's vegetarian, so like we often would just like, we had like a kind of rotation of some meals that we enjoyed to eat as a family, and they were all kind of vegetarian, but that was never something that was like a massive part of my life.
Got you.
I really started to care about food probably an early teenager. I got a job at a bakery. Okay. I loved it. Yeah.
Were you actually baking, or were you like
I was a barista.
Register?
Yeah,
okay.
I was a barista in the beginning, but I, expressed a lot of interest that I wanted to learn. I wanted to pick up prep shifts and stuff, and so they eventually kind of let me. So I was just like 15 making muffins, and like
dope.
I know I had like a crazy weird life, just like waking up at 4 a.m. and like working like the super early shift.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my like connection to food sort of began, and I just like, I think more so than anything, I just like liked the pace. I liked the sort of nuance of being in a kitchen and the camaraderie, and I liked the technical aspect of it.
Right.
So yeah, graduated high school a year early because I was just like, I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go to tech school. I didn't really, want to waste time. And so I moved to New York. Yeah. Started culinary school like 2 weeks after I graduated, and started working at Aska in the evenings.
Okay, so fucking...
Like 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, quick.
Yeah, super fast.
So you moved to New York, and how, like, at such a young age, you know what I mean? Like, and then getting so acclimated so quickly. Yeah. Must have had your shit together.
I'd like to think so. Because
most of us cooks were like, I slept on a couch.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think so. I was in a good spot because I have really supportive parents who were like, willing to help me with culinary school, and I got a fair amount of scholarship, and I had an aunt who had an apartment here that she wasn't really using, so I was able to just kind of move in rent free. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was fucking really scary. Like, it was hard for sure, but I kind of was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to fucking go for it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you show up to Aska to work, and how was that whole...
Yeah. So I started there as a polisher.
Okay.
Because I wanted to get my foot in the door. I had always been really inspired by Scandinavian cuisine and like kind of the mindfulness behind it. So I was like, I'm willing to do kind of whatever it takes to work in a kitchen. Eventually, I'm in culinary school, blah, blah, blah. So I was like working there 5 nights a week. Like after school, I'd like go immediately there and just polish until 1 a.m.
Heard.
And I did that for like 5-6 months, and then they had a spot open up in the kitchen.
Perseverance right there.
Yeah, no, it was like it was sick. I mean, it was brutal, but it was really, really. I learned so much.
Yeah. And I guess as a polisher, you're hanging out in the kitchen.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
getting
we had
to watch everything.
We had like a little dish area.
Yeah.
So I was in the back, and I got to like connect a lot. And it was a small team too. So it was like, I mean, like that's where I first met Chris, and he would like come into the back every day and be like, "What'd you learn at school today?" You know, and it was like everybody sort of like took me under their wings a bit. You know, I think they saw that I was like willing to work hard to learn. So
cool.
Yeah.
So what was your first transition after that?
Yeah. So I transitioned into, I did my externship there, and so I kind of worked as a commis. Mm-hmm. You know, my role while I was cooking there was a little bit of everything. I made all the bread. I did, you know, I was pretty good at a lot of tweezer work. So
so plating and bread.
Yeah, they had me set up on a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm, you know, prep different veggies, make family meal, that kind of stuff. I mean, nothing crazy. I was a commis and was very young and didn't really know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
But,
how long did you stay at Aska?
Like a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you make the decision to leave?
You know, it was like a lot of things. I think I'd come in, kind of like you were saying, like I had come in, I was in school full time and I was working full time, and, you know, Aska was like this sort of safe place for me. And I still feel like so connected to them and to the space, and really grateful that they let me in. But that's tough. And it was time for me to like reset. Mm-hmm. So that was sort of my like biggest motive in moving on.
Yeah.
To get the door. Sorry.
All good. Delivery. All right. Where were we? Aska. Departure.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking to just try something else. So I came to June actually afterwards.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like not super committed to the cooking thing. I really wanted it to click more than it had, and I still just like kind of hated it in a way, you know, and it never really felt exactly right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started back serving at June, and it was like totally shifted my mentality about hospitality, and the way that I thought about food, and the way that I thought about wine, the way that I just like thought about how that all kind of connects to the planet, how it like connects to us long term.
Yeah.
So it was a great reset for me. June is really busy, and it's fast, and it's loud, and it's late night, and it's like bottles on the table, and you just kind of like keep going. And I just like felt that.
Yeah.
It was exactly the energy that I needed.
That you needed.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
And you said you've been here on and off, right? So how long was that first stint?
Yeah. So that first stint wasn't long. It was only like 6-7 months.
Gotcha.
And then we moved to Vermont.
Heard. Burlington.
Yeah. Sort of like as this weird little pandemic getaway.
Little hub.
But it was great. I worked at a wine bar that had a massive focus on education, and had a pretty classic list. So like as far as like my theoretical knowledge of wine goes, like it was really the base for me, you know, like I learned a ton about wine, a ton about service that first stint that I was here, but as far as theory goes, it was pretty base level. So Vermont and also the pandemic and everything kind of slowing down just like really pushed me into my studies, and everything sort of started to click as far as wine goes. But we obviously moved back here.
Yeah.
I started working at...
Did you want to?
Yeah. Okay. No, I did for sure.
It was just like enough of this hippy-dippy shit.
Yeah. It ended up being like so strange because of the pandemic. We were just like, it's already, you're kind of like disconnected from like the rest of the world. But then when you like throw COVID on top of that, it's like there's literally nobody fucking there at all. It was like, it was insane. And we both were like, it was ready to go back, and Chris had the opportunity to go back to Aska, and I was like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And June welcomed me back. So
okay.
Yeah,
At that point, are you coming back as the position you have now? Okay.
No, so I came back as a server.
Okay.
I did that for a couple of months, and then the manager who was here had left. The assistant manager who was here had left. It kind of like left this little core group of people who were just sort of operating under the director of the restaurant group.
Right.
And so I just sort of stepped up to fill the roles that were the more housekeeping things that needed to be done here, and a lot of that had to do with the wine program. So I just took on the role of beverage director, and I did that for several months, about a year, nearly. And then I left, and I did a 6-month stint at 11 Madison Park. And
how'd you like that? What year was it?
I liked it. This is like all very recent. I mean, I just
like before or after pandemic.
This is like after, so it was with the reopening.
Okay,
I was on that team.
So the vegetarian business.
So with the vegetarian menu. And
how did that differ? Like, I guess you weren't there for the meat.
I wasn't there before. It was a pretty new team.
Yeah.
You know, it is a crazy, crazy restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never been.
Okay, but you've worked at restaurants like that large, of that scale. Yep. I mean, it was unlike anything I've ever seen. Yeah.
How many cooks? It was like fucking 40.
Like it was. I mean, it was crazy. The amount of cooks that like kind of rolled through the space were insane. A
lot of talent in one place.
A lot of talent. Yeah. I mean, the front of house the same. It was. I mean, it was an incredible group of people, and you know, just the psalms and the wine knowledge that were just sort of at your fingertips, and the people that have, you know, been working, the general manager had been working at the restaurant for like 10 years. It's like crazy. So it was a great experience, and it was one of those things that was like, I just wanted to see if I could do it, kind of.
Yeah.
I just needed to like know that I could.
Got you.
And yeah, I think I did the 6-month stint well. I think I made a lot of connections. I learned a ton. And then the opportunity to come back to June presented itself, and Diego had stepped in, and I was like, I can't say no to that. It's, you know, the June as a wine bar was like something that I loved, but like June as a wine bar and a place where you can come have a really amazing meal as well, and like build that experience for somebody, I was like, that's what I want.
That's
what I want. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm back.
Fuck that's that. And is this, you here for the long haul?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean,
till Chris gets his shit together and opens a restaurant?
No, yes. I mean, no. But no, I do. I love the space, and the owner, Henry, and Hallie, the director of the restaurant group, I mean, like, incredible resources and really amazing mentors. And Diego's like insane, like, partner in all of this. He's like an incredible chef, and he just knows so much. He's like such a great mentor. Yeah. And then I mean, having Chris here is fun, and our front of house team is also like so much fun. Yeah. They have great energy, and they're really excited to learn, and it feels like it's not opening a new restaurant, but it feels like it is, because we're sort of reestablishing all the systems. It's like, it's wonky because it's, you know, a coursed out meal, but the kitchen's downstairs. So it's just like we're sort of reestablishing all of this, and it's really fun.
Wish you had one of those elevator pulley systems.
I know, yeah. If only.
Like, right? Call the kitchen downstairs. Will you ever switch and go back to the back of the house, you think?